Welcome to On Surfari!
Nicaragua!
I never thought I'd find myself in Nicaragua. It just wasn't on my list. But I want to say something greater than me called me here. For a purpose not entirely clear at the beginning, but for Shannon and I to bring our son Banyan and 5-month-old daughter Coral with us was a leap of faith. Ravaged numerous times by hurricanes, earthquakes, wars, and politics over the centuries, Nicaragua has been a country trying to survive, rebuild, and hope for a better future. Not really the ideal tourist destination, but we're not exactly tourists. And to our surprise, we experienced a beautiful landscape filled with warm and humble people whose trials living in this land have built a quiet resilience in their hearts and their patient hope for a better future, an inspiring one. Nicaragua is also becoming quite the surf destination, and Shannon and I wanted to see what all the fuss was about.
Now, for those of you wondering, how are Shannon and Shane just jumping in the surf? What are we doing with the kids?
Well, we've been really blessed to have our good friend Jessica here. She's been taking great care of Banyan and Coral, so we can actually get a surf together every once in a while.
Some of the last pioneers on Earth are surfers, and what they're pioneering are waves. With Nicaragua's consistent turmoils in the 70s and 80s, only the scarce adventuring surfer dared make their way along Nica's coast. But when the dust settled, guys like J.J. Yema gave Nicaragua a look, ventured into the unknown, and ended up staying.
I'm originally from Jacksonville Beach, Florida. Grew up 3 blocks off the ocean. As soon as I turned 18, I had it set in my mind I was out of there, and I was going to go be where the sun was setting over the ocean, and I was going to be surfing. I remember when Kim and I first came here, we had the first 4 months we spent on the property in a tent, no electricity. You know, every year we've just been kind of making improvements. When Wave Hunters presented their idea with us, hey, this is what we like to do. We like to pick people up from the airport. We like to serve them all the way until they leave. And we like to give them the best possible trip that we can. We're like, that's us. The Popoyo Surf Lodge. We have from the beginner point break to step ladder, little free fall, drops into the barrel. And so, you know, Nicaragua is the ultimate surfer's paradise.
Nicaragua was a surfer's paradise, and the best was still to come. Even though Nicaragua has been surfed for years now, there's still a few secret spots left, and our friend JJ was taking us to one in the cloak of darkness. But you have to be careful driving in Nicaragua at night, as you never know what you might run into.
So what you have here is called the pico caballo, the horse biter. It's a Nicaraguan tarantula, and what they do is they bite horse hoofs, and the hoofs fall off, and the horses end up dying. This is one great reason why you don't want to be walking around barefoot at night in Nicaragua. And I'm really afraid of spiders, by the way. Like, even daddy long legs, I'm not even really down for them whatsoever.
I had heard this wave was a dangerous one, needing lightning-quick reflexes to avoid the urchin-covered reef just inches below the surface. To be honest, I was sick as a dog and did not feel like surfing. But when waves are pumping and cameras rolling, you don't have much choice. JJ, on the other hand, was putting on a tube riding clinic. Shannon and I had heard about this crazy redhead surfer named Dawn that had moved down here to Nicaragua and had started giving free art classes and surf lessons to any kids who were willing to show up. Dawn funds herself by working at a restaurant back in the States, and along with any donation she can gather, returns as soon as she can. It's a beautiful thing to see someone living a life filled with compassion and creativity. Dawn invited Shannon to an art project in the local community.
We're here with International Art Missions creating a mural on one of their salt factories.
On the other mural that we did a mural at the bus stop, and I really enjoyed the people's different expressions of what they thought the mural meant to them and why they really enjoyed doing it, and the kids that were involved in it. There were just so many smiles that day and so much appreciation, and they wanted to just keep painting. They even were painting rocks to put in front of the wall because they didn't want to stop painting.
Bueno, me hace sentir orgullosa por lo que yo he hecho.
Gets people involved in beautifying the community. It's awesome.
So this cute little fella is called the Ardilla de Nicaragua. I don't know the actual specific biological name for it, but this is the common Nicaraguan squirrel. As you can see, they're vicious, they're dangerous. They eat nuts, and I think it likes neck sweat too.
Where'd he go?
He's right there,
Where'd he go? I've never seen a little skunk-backed squirrel before. There you go. Hey, I got a little bit behind the ear there. So we've had ourselves about a 6-hour drive. Now we're gonna take a little boat ride out to this wave, and we got about an hour of light left. We're pretty amped though. I mean, I don't know. Let's hope it's worth it.
It's pumping!
We've been having a blast in Nicaragua, but what we were about to experience would both break our hearts and open our eyes. Surfing all day isn't the only thing to do in Nicaragua. Some of the coolest things happen at night. So we made our way to the Chacosente Turtle Reserve.
Wow, look at this. The remains of a sea turtle shell. Down here in Nicaragua, they call the sea turtle the paslama. It's also called the olive ridley for the greenish color on its top shell. These sea turtles lay about 100 eggs per clutch. About 1 out of 100 make it to adulthood.
I knew the roads down here were gonna be pretty bad, but not this bad. Luckily, I brought my taco bike.
Surfing's fun, but there's more than one way to ride a wave. Our friends in the States had been telling us about a community of people who live in a trash dump called La Chureca.
What you're seeing here is the local trash being dumped off, and everyone's got these long forks, and they're digging through it, and they're looking for anything that they can recycle to eventually, you know, buy food or whatever they need.
Brad Corrigan is a musician who created Love, Light, and Melody, a foundation that brings global awareness to La Chureca and works with government agencies, humanitarian efforts, and individuals, all in the hope of bettering the lives of the people who live in this wasteland.
For the first year and a half that I came here, I felt like I had a little vision. I can give them love. I don't even speak their language, but I can give them love. And I can bring light. When I see someone smile, I see light come out of them. And I can bring melody, like it was what I was made to do. So, love, light, and melody.
You know, I can give someone some food and, you know, they'll eat today, and I can give them some shelter and you know, they'll have a safe place to sleep. And those are important things. You know, we need those things to survive, but I think what is lasting is meaningful relationship.
One of the efforts Love, Light, and Melody has come alongside to support is the Hope Christian School just inside the dump.
This is our school, Colegio La Esperanza in La Chureca, and we have 6 classrooms, and we have grades preschool to 6th grade, and we have 335 students currently. We provide free education to all the students that come. They also receive breakfast and lunch. It also provides a safe place for the kids to come, a place that's away from their homes, which are typically not the best situations. And there's a lot of abuse that goes on. There's a lot of alcohol and drugs and prostitution. The kids have seen all of that stuff in their families.
The kids here are just beautiful, fun, warm, loving kids, and they're so grateful despite their circumstances.
There is a peace here and a community aspect here that we need to learn how to take that back to where we're from. Because I see an invisible trash just all over the world where we're so developed and where we've got so much money and where our pace is so fast. Always cell phones glued to our heads and emailing. I mean, I know that world. That's me. But we're losing each other. So while these people don't have very much physically, spiritually, they're very wealthy. And they have so much to teach us.
Things are happening here. And one day, hopefully, we can walk over this, and this will just be a nice big green field.
Shannon, Banyan, Coral, and I had an amazing adventure in Nicaragua, and I'm glad we decided to leave our preconceived notions at home and experience what this unique country has to offer on land and in the water.
want to feel involved in something like this, well, you can go to our website, onsurfari.com, and see this organization as well as others that we've gone to, and also ones that we're going to on future trips, and see how you can be a part of it.